place you can hit is your shoulder.
I'm going to answer. You had a question during break, and that's another question, and the answer is the same. So it's cool that I'm going to answer both of you at the same time, okay? You asked me, when we do this, the chi is flowing out of our hands, so we have to come back to our trail to grab it. That's what we do, and the answer is no. When we do this with the paintbrush style, we're initiating, it's just a symbol for the chi system that it's naturally flowing. So by doing like this, it's flowing from the body. So you go into the grabbing, you're not recuperating the chi that already flowed. You just go, it's still flowing out of your own arms, but you're accumulating it in your hands instead of letting it out where it goes. But it's still just flowing from you, okay? So you don't, if you go like this, you don't have to recuperate the trail that you lost, because if you think in terms, I'm losing my chi, you're never going to have any chi. Just lose it, okay? The thing is, as you breathe in and you're focused in the experience, we'll talk about the mantra again later, Oma Hubri Tran. I just wrote it. We have a board now, so I'm going to explain it again. So, as you do this, it's not to help the mind. It's a natural symbol. It's a natural flow. When you go like this, chi naturally flows from your body, because this is what it does when your consciousness is on your chi. So it will do it. Okay? But if you can't use the hands, you'll start to use the same thing. Just gather your paintbrush and go into gathering stance, and then compact it, and then use any technique you want, like this one, which is make that wave of and break it, like you said. Does that answer your question? So if you're handcuffed and you still need to fight with forced combat, you just don't use your hands. We use the hands first, then we learn how to use it with the feet. And compact and go hard and then soft again. Like this is like paintbrushing with your feet. That you would, of course you don't go backwards with your feet, it's just going to hurt yourself. But it's the same feeling of using the tips, okay? Instead of using the heel. And then the impact, which is the equivalent of compacting. So we have this with the feet also. I'm not going to teach it. You got to discover it. Just know that it exists. It's the only thing you need to know. So all that you just said about you get the shoulder here and then another one to punch is the same thing. There's physics involved, but there's also chi. I'm symbolizing the violence or the empowerment of the next thing that comes. And it's not just physical matter that goes. It's your chi. Right? We good? Okay. Gathering. So more on the mantra, that is the sum of the attitude of using your power. Om is everything. Okay? Ah is you know. Hum is you feel. Hri is powerful, and Tram is to live it. So it's embodied. Okay? So everything, you know it, you feel it, it's powerful, and you live it. That's basically what it can mean when applied to forced combat. Okay? We can have an entire weekend, we can have a 9-day boot camp on these 5 syllables. So just take this for now, it's going to be enough. Okay? So you get it, the point of using your own paintbrush, then sand pushing, it's just a way, you know, the Chinese people, they have long lane, pushing the sandbox, which is hanging from the tail of the lizard, and you just have long animal and natural names. So that's what we call it, the paintbrush, because it looks like it. And then you go with the gathering, then you give an impact, and it's a hard rock. So everything in forced combat is about being conscious of the chi, allowing it to flow, direct it, make it hard when you need it hard, make it loose when you need it loose, right? And all these little fancy moves you'll learn with time. In your martial art, your own Qi-Gong will look like some of the katas in your tradition, and it's okay. As long as you don't do the kata of your tradition and be hard, you don't just go very hard or to Wing Chun, okay? If you go into your art, you're not going to do forced combat. Try to do forced combat, naturally your heart will come in. Okay, your tradition, your martial art tradition will come in, right? So we're conscious here. we're going to generate the ball in 10 seconds. Not too quick, not too long, not 5 minutes, 10 seconds. That's because you have experience so far in Qi-Gong. If those people don't have experience, it will take 1 or 2 minutes, okay? So we're going to start with the flow. 3 seconds, and starts to compact, actually in the gathering, and compact it. Then you're going to punch it out. It's not just a gesture. Stay focused that you are now dissolving. And you know it. Okay? It's very good to dissolve left, right, or up, up, down. If you just go like this, you just don't know how awkward your chi would be. Yeah, thank you. Second gathering. Start with the flow. That's a nata we're going to make. You start to gather. Compact. You breathe out and you inhale. And back. That is just a little revision so that you can understand what we just made. That was a hard one. Sometimes it will, when it comes in, it will tickle the channel around the throat or around the Ida Pingala around here, on top of the head. That makes you feel like, whoa, what was that? Okay? Getting buzzy or coughing, it's normal. Now we're going to learn a very basic opening. The feet are closer, but not fully in contact. Closer, you lift your hand in paintbrush up to the throat, not higher. So it's just a reflex to bring it to the level of the eyes. Okay? Just really look at it, you're still too high. Yeah, it's perfectly horizontal. Okay? So bring it paintbrush, sand back down. And once down, you've got this. So just that, and while you do this, you split your leg apart, your left leg apart like this. So that's just the first application in most Qi-Gong and Tai Chi technique, the opening, which is start a convection and compact it. It's the first thing we do. And then you'll sand brush and compact back in. Now, why do we wait here? We stop there. We're not just slowing it down. We're really compacting, have a bit of tension in the hands, and finish like this, and not straight like most martial arts. Of course, a lot of techniques will tell you to go straight, but for this one, I'm asking you to go to compact, because the goal is to feel that chi, and we're at the base chakra. Okay, that's the goal, to have the down-to-earth chi. Okay. Now, as we close, we finish as some kind of big brush in the central line. We bring it. Okay, so let's say we open. Now look how I'm going to do it, okay? I'm going in each direction. Look at how I'm going to do it instead of doing it at the same time. Because I see you look at the roof. Okay, just look, okay? Because there's an important point. My left hand is going just before. My palms are aligned directly in the central line on my chakras. Like this. And then the left hand on the abdomen and the right over it. It can be the left before, the right before, it depends. But the thing is, it's not just here and eventually join. There's the purpose of I'm getting that energy in. And you'll feel it in your entire central line. So, we're ready to open. We open up. And just that little push down we made, we're going to flow it up like paintbrush. Get the hands central. And they start to merge together somewhere in the torso to end up completely connected at the abdomen. Back to center. We do the opening, which is a paintbrush and compact. Paintbrush, sandbag. Somewhat paintbrush. And then wave it. It's just central here. Good. So when at any point in the techniques that I'm really compacting and it becomes natural to close in the same way and open in the same way. Okay? So mostly every Tai Chi and Qi-Gong technique open and close in that way because there's a purpose in there. Okay? It's the idea of initiating the first convection and gathering of Qi. Right? So we get our energy down here. Now we're going to do an improvisation about 1 minute, and when it's time to finally compact, I'm going to tell you, okay? Open. Start to paintbrush left and right, just go really paintbrush and feel that slow, there's no hurry. Start to gather, so the sandbag. And you will compact. Okay? And then we all throw it at Ram. And we relax. He just, okay, I'm gonna blow my shirt. And then back. So in the same way, that was funny. In the same way, so you felt the coming in. As the balls go to us, to Ram, they start to lose their density. So all Ram felt is the wave, you know, wow, okay. Which is cool. Because while Qi balls move, they're in the air, they're moving, and movement means convection, just start to redissolve in nature. It depends on how much consciousness of hardness you put onto it. But there's a fantasy of the anime, Japanese anime and the role-playing games that you can actually gather a Qi ball and throw it to make an impact on someone. That doesn't work, because the moment it starts to move, it goes into the idea of the air concept, which it is made, it just flows back. Some people do have long distance effect on matter, telekinesis. Like this guy who learned to kill birds by his Qi, by impacting, and he just gives a punch, but it's not his punch traveling into the other. He just knows himself already in the body and he punches down, and the punch happens in the body of the other. So the idea of having balls of Qi flow is not natural, not even supernatural. It just doesn't work. Okay? Some people do this, like give an impact, boom, and the body of the others will flow. But you'll see on YouTube, you see a lot of masters that make the body of other people flow. They're not going violent. It's just they go like this, which is the air palm, which is the last thing I'm going to show you. Okay? I'm not going to do it. I've not been practicing this for 20 years. Okay? So, but when I did it, I actually went like this, and people would go back a few inches, not a few feet like the masters, but a few inches. The thing is, I started studying martial arts when I was very young, and the official training started at 12, but I was practicing on my own movies and my own consciousness of what I knew about all this force combat when I was very young. And after my teenage were over, it got to me. I figured I'm never going to use this anymore in my life. I'm never going to be submitted to a fight anymore. It's not in my life. I'm an author, I'm a conference speaker. This is not my job. So I stopped training. So I still have the knowledge, but I don't have the fitness or the physicality, the training to do this anymore. Okay? So that's why I'm filming it, because I want to transmit this knowledge before it just goes away. So you feel your Qi. Okay? It's your own Qi. You have it. We're going to gather more. Om MahaVajra. Your eyes are not closed. What I'm conscious inside myself and conscious around me is a single event. There's no distinction between inside and outside. We are conscious. Om Ma Hum Ri Ram. Now, we're going to practice the impact cross, okay? Or the grounding cross. It had a very long Chinese name, which is hammering down the pillar into the earth. And there's a cross, I'll just call it the impact of the cross. The idea is to gather from left to right, and then your left hand is going to stay down to up, and you hit while you semi-squat, like in a horse stance, like in a high horse stance. Okay? You can go full low horse stance if you can do it, if you like it. But it's just the idea of when the impact happens, it's not just the hardening in your body. It's the symbol of the impact of the right on the left like this, and the left is still open, and you're going down. Okay? So we go left, right. It's not left, right, up, down. It's left, right. You know, it's flowing. It's in the Qi-Gong feeling. If you go too fast, you're going to lose your Qi. The impact will be a nice noise. And it'll hup in your abdomen, and then that's it. So what you want is to start slow. So we're centered. We open. Your left leg will stretch out a bit more. Left, right, start a compact, up, and close. And when you do this on your own, I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask you to just pay attention, okay? So to pay attention, your hands are on each side. It's easier to have your front affected. I'm just going to gather chi and show you just doing it. I'm not going to do a wave. I'm going to do a full impact, densifying a lot of chi at once. And you're all going to feel the wave going like this, okay? But I'm not concentrating on doing a wave. That would waste my chi. All I want is to take the chi of the entire room and densify it, okay, instead of just my little semi-line. Did you understand that? The idea of when I'm doing this, it's not just me, because my focus is whatever is here, whatever is there, is the same thing. So when I fight, or when I used to fight, or when I do anything, it's the entire environment doing it. Okay, so it's not me fighting the other, is the fighting happens, or there is fighting. But it's not me and the other, it's the unified no mind of the Japanese, okay, of the Furoshin. Oh, you call your practice Shigantaza, for example. So the idea of fixity, of fixing your mind and allowing yourself to drop out of mind. Right now we're learning, so of course your head is paying attention, you're thinking. The idea is to be able to get to that point eventually when there is no mind and you just combat and all your chi is doing it with you. Okay? Mushin. What? Mushin. Mushin. Okay. So, we're going to do the impact now and come back. Okay? Just remember, at one point, left, right, the right hand goes inside and the left goes down. And it starts to harden there. And sink down a bit. And then back in. Alright? Left, right. A natural breath, and we do it again. Okay, what we have been doing here do you feel the Qi in your body and also the environment? The Qi is getting compact everywhere. Because our effect is not limited to our own body. Our effect is wherever we are able to pay attention. Usually Qi-Gong is just inside you because you're stuck inside you. But I know you're some of my most advanced students, so you pay attention on everything. Everything does Qi-Gong. Okay? The idea is your Qi becomes the Qi of everything. So you're not limited to the idea, I'm going to lose Qi. Well, you've got all that Qi available. There's so much. Okay? It's not limited to your own experience. It's just a question of, in your mind, not separating yourself from the universal experience. Qi is everywhere. Consciousness everywhere. So everything, I know it, I feel it, it's powerful, and I live it. O MahaVajra. And that gets you into the mindset of the one experience with everything. Now, the impact itself, we're going to force it to diffuse with the dragon claw. Okay, that's the dragon claw. Did you ever learn this? Ever saw that? The idea of having one finger, it's not a closed hand, it's not a loser hand. Okay, it's dragon claw. It's like the tiger claw. Less backwards, more inside, but exactly, like this is perfect. You have your own natural feel of it, okay? So there's still tension, and it's not completely closed. It's the index is very straight, okay? As straight as you're comfortable, okay? Not too much strain, okay? So that is a dragon claw. That's the combination of the paintbrush and the compacting at once. And usually you don't do an entire thing like this because your system doesn't know, okay, am I convecting or am I packing right now? I just don't know. But the idea is to do the impact in one expiring small in-breath, and just make that Qi go into the earth wide. Okay, that's the entire tram thing, where all the energy just goes everywhere in your body and in the earth, just densifying to the physical plane. Okay, I'm going to show you once. Okay, so it's powerful, little in-breath because you just went now expiring with resistance. When you have a lot of water going through a water hose with a very small nozzle, it amplifies the power of the jet stream, does it? Because of the pressure. So this is what you're representing with your air. Resisting the exhale. So that all your muscles compacting, it means to the Qi system that you're funneling and concentrating your Qi in a very powerful stream to flow. It's not just a convection of letting it flow gently in nature. It's the... So it becomes hard even while it flows.
Is there a rage?
Power. If it's rage for you, it just depends on the name. But there's no violence. There's a absolute faith on your authority over nature. But not the arrogance. Hey, dude, I'm in charge. Okay? It's faith in your authority, not the arrogance of pretending you have it. Okay? You understand? It's an attitude that you want to cultivate inside so that your Qi will follow what you know and what you feel powerfully and bring it to the earth or live it. Okay? So, I'll just summarize. We open, paintbrush, start to compact, impact, dragon claw, and close again. Alright? Let's do it. You start to breathe in on the horizontal and be ready to give the impact. Now I see that there's something that was missing in your awareness right now. You see, when I decided to stop teaching martial arts, I didn't stop learning. I just went into the supernatural application of that power at a more emotional and vital level, okay? Which is what I need for my work. Which allows me to know what kind of experience you just felt. Okay? Very useful at the level it will make you into some kind of empathic being. That you're conscious of what's going on around you as much as inside you. So I'm conscious right now that there's something you just didn't get because I did not teach you that correctly. It's not that I was a bad teacher 5 minutes ago and now I'm a good one. It's I teach, and when I see there's something missing in your experience, okay, now we have to add this. This is how I know how to modulate my teaching as it goes. Okay? It is what I'm telling you right now is also part of this entire system, to be aware not just of the person you're going to fight, but whoever you're interacting with, because it's going to be a part of your life. It's a way of being. So I'm conscious that you don't have enough practice of really identifying the dragon claw feeling, because we didn't practice at all. So what we're going to do, we're going to do it left leg in front, okay? Most of your weight on the back, and as you do the dragon claw, okay, what you're going to do is left hand will just support your chi, and you will compact with the right and shift your weight on the left leg. Just flow it out. Okay, you can do it. You can do it. You just bring you up. Completely relaxed. And central line again.
It's still an attitude of being within, but yet going without.
I see in just your stance that your natural Qi-Gong training really goes into your stance, and that's wonderful because it does not conflict at all with the practice we're teaching. I'm doing it more Chinese style, like more almost a cat stance. Just bring it back in. But just the way you bend your knees and everything is perfect. It's very good. Right? Now we'll do a left. Okay? So, flow out, bring it. As you pull back, you're relaxed. And central line again. Did you just feel the difference in the dragon claw as opposed to the paintbrush and the gathering, which is paintbrush fully flowing, gathering, compacting? Dragon claw is like pushing it to become denser. Okay, you got that? I just need some water. Oh, it feels good to train this again. The more you are aware of how your chi flows in your body and how your mind can affect it, the more powerful will be your forced combat. The goal of doing this Qi-Gong is to do exercises that will make you aware of small components. Oh, this is how chi starts to flow. Oh, this is how chi starts to compact. This is how it becomes hard and loose again. And this is how you funnel it with power or give impacts. It's just various ways of using it to trigger experiences. If you're just doing the physical movements and the voice and the muscular thing, you're missing the point. The point is to be able to do it as slow as you can, to feel as much as you can. Once you have the feeling, your chi is just gonna go. So what you're gonna do now, you remember that technique, Ron? Can you just a bit closer? Thank you. You know that technique that I've shown you a few times about exchanging the chi, just lasering out? Okay, and then the person gets it on the left hand. Now we're gonna do dragon fight. Dragon claw fight, okay? So the goal is just, it's gonna be left leg, right leg, but what we're gonna do is spar at this level, but not spar like in combat. The goal is for him, just be ready to feel. Normally in martial arts you have a stance or something hard or a way of going that makes you ready for battle. This is not a battle, okay? It's a dance, okay? Would you care to dance? So let your fingers loose, drop out of the defensive, okay? We'll go defensive and offensive later in the forced combat. Now it's feel the chi. So you're receptive and I'll open. For me to just go in and let you feel it, and I become receptive. And while I'm finishing my move, you start to gather your own and you press it. So you see, even as I'm receiving, I'm ready to regather. And central line. Cut the camera, do it a few minutes with a teammate. I'll do it with Brian.
I saw you only working with your own chi instead of taking what he was giving you. Him and I start getting, as soon as we're starting to like, okay, who's bigger? Watch. Who's big? She's coming over. You can feel it's like, here comes this big ball.
Yeah, well,
it's like, oh God, take this ball, okay, take it back.
Yeah, that's cool. So, your question was, am I using his chi or mine? Or so I'm always using mine, he's always using his. That was your human perspective. The moment I start to come in, and he started to feel it, the moment I came in, it's not my chi, it's chi. It's everyone's chi, and he got it, and he immediately could start to use it. He was not using my chi, he was using chi, the one that just came from me, and his. It all mixes up together. You have to drop out of the idea, this is my chi, this is your chi. You don't own it, it's there, it's like hair. When you exhale, what, is it still your hair? Was it your air that you inhaled when you took it in? Now this is my hair, it's in me. Oh, it's not my hair anymore, so if he inhales my hair, well, he's gonna smell like crazy, but it's this entire idea of the chi, whose chi is it? Okay? That's still the mindset of separation. There is chi, it's there. I can condense it and make it to become dense and powerful. And how did you comment on how you felt when we practiced?
Like when it was in my hands were there, as I felt it hit my hands, and I felt like then I could grab and then start moving it back and then push it forward, and then it became more of a flow because we were just going back and forth exchanging it.
So when you felt it, you could start to use it because you felt it. You were aware of it. Awareness is the only thing required for you to use chi, because chi naturally follows your mind. It's meant, this is what it does. Usually it follows laws of nature, and once your mind is stronger than the laws of nature, it'll follow your mind. If you're just a slave of nature, always smoking drug or taking alcohol when you feel it, always compensating for your emotions in various ways, always going to denial, you're affirming that nature is stronger than you. You're not going to do Qi-Gong. You're not going to do anything with your Qi, because in your life you're saying, through actions you're confirming nature has power over me. To do something supernatural, you need to know that you and nature are in collaboration, and sometimes you're the one in charge, so that you can go actually and behave in a way that is against nature. For example, the reflex of firefighters to be able to go run in a house in fire to do their purpose. They're trained, but they have learned to disengage the natural reflex of the fear of fire. They know how to operate it, okay? And in combat, like for you guys in your job, you know that at one point you need to face that trial at war or in the streets. You need to face that kind of natural threat where another animal is trying to fight you for some kind of good or resource. Now it's the cops and the bad guys, but should we say, like when we were children, but we're not a lion and a zebra anymore. We're not in that natural state, but our genetic code doesn't know that. Our genetic code, our body, our flesh, our DNA still remembers we're animals in the jungle trying to survive. So if you always obey the survival mode, you're saying to nature it is more powerful than you, then Qi does not follow your mind. In your daily life, as you behave, as you train yourself to go beyond the natural force, let's say, not always get horny on every beautiful lady or man you see, for example, which is okay, I have no judgment against that. It's just if you always obey nature, you're going to screw your own life. You're going to screw up your own love life, and it's going to be dramatic, okay? Let's say the way I train is I love pepper on my food, okay? I used to put pepper everywhere. So I would put the pepper right in front of my plate every meal for 1 month and not use it. It was there. It's a very light thing, but you just show yourself you can do it. And then you try spending 2 days without eating, doing meditation. And once you can do this comfortably, you spend 2 days without eating while going to work and physically working. So that the power of your body angry at you, feed me, you still don't listen to it. But not to the point of damaging your body. I will not eat for 1 month. Yeah, I mean, then you're gonna die and not control Qi. It's too bad. If you're dead, you can't control Qi. So the thing is, do little things like this to challenge yourself. Whoever's got police or military training, you've done that. You've been into some training that was hard on you physically and morally, and you still had to focus on your purpose, which is also what trains your body and your mind that you have a certain power over natural forces, like the power to defend yourself when you have to not defend yourself but go more aggressive to achieve a purpose. Okay, you understand that? So this is the kind of thing that you got to train to at one point, you know. So this is the kind of trial in life that brings us to know we are more powerful than nature, and then we feel the Qi. But if we don't have military or similar training, there's no way we can know this unless we have trials ourselves, to impose on ourselves little challenges once in a while, just to remember that we're more powerful than nature, okay? So the more powerful you are, the more that you can master the natural forces inside you, you're not going to go against nature. You're just going to be in charge of what happens. And then you think your Qi and your energy just flows. It obeys the most powerful force, simply. So, by challenging yourself and becoming in charge of your own animal nature, MahaVajra, to know yourself, to feel, to be powerful and to incarnate and live it, this is what is going to make the Qi much more richer. You'll be more sensitive. Like, for him, he could feel the Qi coming in. Some people don't feel Qi. They have some. And I push them, they don't feel it. They don't have the ability to be aware. There's no feel. They don't have the hum. And some people don't have the ha. That's when in the mind, I just don't believe it. I don't want to know that. Okay, that's to be skeptic. Or to be such a believer in another reality, such as only Brahma exists and every other religion is wrong, for example. For a few Hindus are very strong into the Brahmanical way. Some Christians are like that. Some Buddhists are like that. That closes your mind to, well, what is real? You can convince yourself that that tile is red and just believe it's red, but at one point just drop out of what you believe, look at it, and accept whatever comes. That's reality, or that's more real than what you want to believe it is. Okay? So in any kind of situation, and also for investigation for you guys, it's going to be very good. This thing will allow you to want to know, and you'll feel the Qi and the streams of consciousness going into a situation. So as investigators, it'll be much more efficient for you to get the wisdom or the knowledge. Oh, there's this stream of consciousness goes there, I'm just going to follow it. And you're going to have these intuitions by knowing what happened. Because if something happened in nature, the Qi and the energy or the consciousness still flows in that event. So you just learn to look at it and flow. So force combat is not the final teaching only. The final teaching is the 5 ways to strike. Actually, 4 ways to strike and 1 way is not to. Okay? And it's not just that striking moment or that blocking moment. There's no block in force combat. The block is what you gain from your martial art tradition. Okay? In force combat, it's just the way of not being in front, just bend over. There's some kind of dodging, if you want, in the water stance. We'll get to this later. The important part is, the more you want to know the truth and not take it for granted, the more you want to feel and not take it for granted, the more you're conscious, but then in charge. The Ri is, I'm in charge of nature, and Clown, it's here. That will make the Qi follow your mind and your will. Okay? So you got that with a Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is, you'll never fight with Dragon Claw. That's completely stupid. You just grab your finger, you're over. Okay? That's not to fight. That's to compact. Okay? And still keep the convecting. So it's to keep the convection or the moving and the pushing and gathering in a single event. And it follows that direction. And the Dragon Claw is not just a line like the laser. Like if you do the broadsword mudra, it will follow your line very precisely depending on your level of concentration. There's no way you're going to do this with a Dragon Claw. You're just going to go like the Dragon Breath, like this. But you compact it as much as you can. The goal is not to make a stream, it's to have the entire area more compact. So that when you give a strike, you give your strike with your fist in any way, in any tradition you've learned, but you still have that Dragon Claw training of the Qi is becoming dense. In training, we do Dragon Claw. With the exhale, in combat, it will naturally happen while you do your technique. Alright? Cool? He's like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Alright, so, you need 5 minutes break? Let's take another 5 minutes and then we go to another cool aspect.